What is up, everybody? We're back here on another episode of Armbars and Suplexes, the live stream. This is the 19th live stream we've done since we've started doing these live streams. So welcome back, everybody. I am your host, Alec Miller, and my other host right here, Jesus. What's going on, man?
The co-host with the second most.
Yes.
What's going on, man? You can find me on Twitter at The Real Jesus, and that's spelled wrong one. Oh, right there. JEZUS. As always, talking nonsense and facts and I don't know, some deep thoughts lately, man. All this quarantine has been getting me some deep thoughts, man.
Yeah, not me, man. I'm just kind of not really saying much, and it's hard to really comment on things going on because everything fucking changes every other week, or it's either fuck this guy, like I'm bored, like I get it. Honestly, I've been staying off of Twitter a lot, to be honest.
Dude, I'm seeing so much crap on Twitter, and it just people are so bored. What's the top 10 fighters of all time? What's the top 10 knockouts of all time? What's the top 10 upsets of all time? Like, damn, man. Like,
people need content.
Dude, we've talked about this already. It ain't changing. We don't have no live events. It ain't changing.
Yeah, no, man. I have like Bleacher Report. I get their notifications sent to my phone. And it's just it's nothing. It's just like empty articles that I don't care to read, I don't care. Like the most I've read is like their mock drafts, because at least we know for sure the draft's going to happen on next Thursday, which I'm really excited about.
Yeah, I think that's, I don't know, man. It might be a harbinger or whatever. Different. Well, yeah, I mean, it's going to be way different, but I feel like that might be similar to the new norm going forward. Things online, things virtually, like not to have people crowded together. I mean, I recently saw a baseball game from, I forgot where it was from, but it had to be somewhere in the Japan, China, Asian area. And there's apparently a small league going on, maybe even Korea, with 4 teams, and they're doing like a tournament bracket style. And empty seats, bro. Empty seats.
Man.
Empty seats. The team sits in the stands and they cheer for their players in the stands when they're batting. But it's pretty cool, man. I mean, they're making it happen. So I think it's a new norm, man. That's gonna be the new norm with the draft, and I am excited about the draft, man. I'm definitely wanting to see, what left tackle the Texans. Oh, wait a second, hold on. We already got that done. We paid a lot for a left tackle. So
we have a good offensive line this year. I think I was talking to Big Sarge about it. Shout out to Big Sarge about it, saying basically like say what you want about Bill O'Brien, but he like very quietly put together a good offensive line. And I'm like, God damn it, it is a good offensive line.
Very quietly. I mean, honestly, y'all consider that very quiet?
You know what I mean? Like when people aren't noticing. People are just noticing the idiotic moves he's making. Yeah. Meanwhile, all of a sudden we have a serviceable offensive line that we're just missing our number one receiver.
Yeah.
Don't try and lump me in with me trying to say good things about Bill O'Brien. I can't stand him. If I found out, no, I'm not gonna say anything.
No, I'm just like, I get it, dude. I agree, but I don't think it was quiet. I think it was like, shouted through a megaphone. I mean, I think we gave up. We used 3 first-round picks on that line, and 2 of those were on one guy, Larry Tunsil, and the other one was on Titus Howard, which at the time looked like a reach, but in his first half year before he got hurt, he looked like a legit offensive lineman. And then he overpaid the center, Nick Martin. So I mean, it's not quiet, man. I mean, I'm sorry, it's not quiet to me. Like, is it? I would say it's maybe, what is it called? Underappreciated or undervalued. What is that thing that the people use?
Underrated.
There you go. I wanted you to say it. It's an underrated line. People don't know about it. People don't think it's a good line. And that, honestly, I would like it that way. If I'm a football team, that's what I want, because I don't want them paying attention to us. And then when the day comes on Sunday, we hit them in the mouth because we have a really good line. And we know that here locally, we know what they're capable of. We've seen them make some awesome space and time for Deshaun. And we've also seen Deshaun even make them look even better because they give him time. He can't find anybody, then he rolls out and he still makes a play. So, the line is probably one of the best things about the team right now.
Yeah, if he can just, all I want Deshaun to do is just find that deep ball with a little bit more accuracy, a little bit more. He's got the power, just need the accuracy. That's all.
Go get it, man. Go get it. I mean, he can't throw it to himself. These guys got to catch.
I know. There's just a few that I was like, just a hair. Like the guy's open just a hair.
I'd be like, just a hair faster. They would have gotten there.
Just a hair. Don't put too much on it. Lay off a little bit. Bit.
I mean, I need to go back because I've honestly seen. I mean, you're right. Like, yeah, he could get a little bit better with his deep ball, but I've also seen too, man. Like a couple times last year when Fuller was healthy, he gives up on the play, man. Like he'll stop, not like completely stop running, but he won't go full speed, and then the ball's in the air, and he's like, "Oh crap, he threw it to me, now let me try to catch up to it." But if he would have just kept his full, speed the whole route, he probably would have caught up to it.
Oh, trust me, I don't. I don't like Fuller that much. I don't like Fuller that much. He's got to stay on the field. First comment here. What's up, Delisha Renee? I know Delisha Renee from the in a Discord for someone I know named Ben Goddard, who's in the Schmodown, which I'm going to show you next week, next Tuesday on our new show. Yeah, on our new show, you're going to get your first taste of the Schmodown, and I think you're going to get hooked because you like movies. You like trivia. I mean, I'm assuming you like trivia because you're going to want to play along, and then. I think with the characters, it's basically wrestling, and I guess the competitive aspect. So the best way to describe it is wrestling meets like MMA. If it was like that, if more MMA fighters had had character, that we would like it. It would be even better. So these guys have they create characters in the Schmodown, and take it very completely seriously. Like there is emotions, there's crying after winning titles. It's great.
Nice. Hey, Robert said hi, Alec and Jesus. What's up, Robert?
What's up, Rob?
Hey, I think Robert would like it too, man. Speaking of, that's my buddy Robert. He loves trivia, especially if it has anything to do with The Office. I've been in one trivia contest with him that we did fairly well, and I think he went to another one as well. So, Robert, be looking out on Tuesday for the Schmodown.
The Schmodown. Dude, this thing is so good that Booker T loves it.
Man, that's high praise, man.
Booker T actually reached out to the Schmodown. Brad Gilmore is the guy. Brad Gilmore, who does Booker T's show on ESPN radio here in Houston. He actually showed Booker the Schmodown. Booker was like, "This is awesome. This is amazing. I love this." And then told him basically told him to message the guy, hey, hey, Booker wants to get involved, and the other guy was like, yeah. Booker,
of course.
Yeah, of course. So when they had the live Schmodown here last year, it was at Booker T's World Gym Arena.
Oh, nice. That's pretty cool.
City. So, and I went there, and it was awesome. So yes.
Oh, you went out there.
Yeah, and Delisha said she believes that you guys will like it. I believe they will. And so check back on Tuesday when we watch the Schmodown together on our new show that we have yet to name.
I think I have a name. I'll send it to you in the private chat.
Yeah, send it to me. But thank you guys for joining us, Delisha and Robert. It's good to have you guys here. If you haven't seen the show, we normally just talk about random stuff in the first part of our show, and then we jump into the wrestling because Delisha said that she liked the wrestling. So yeah, we'll jump into the wrestling very, very soon, and the MMA as well, because there's a little bit of stuff that we can talk about.
Well, there's a lot of MMA news right now.
But so anyways, let's go into how was your week this past week? What you get?
Oh man, quarantine life. There's a lot of quarantine life going on right now. We're quarantining hard right now here in the
absolutely
in the household. But I did get a chance to watch a couple things. I saw the second episode of the documentary on the Atlanta Monster on HBO. And man, it's just, I mean, it's sad, that a lot of stuff, happened and how it happened and why it happened. This was in the late 70s, early 80s, so there's a lot of race involved with it, and that sucks about it, man, because there's still kids and children, that were brutally murdered and lost, and some weren't even found. So that was, I mean, so far, man, it's been good. It's been brutal, but it's a story that definitely needs to be told in that medium. So I'm gonna continue watching it. And then on, I think it was Monday or Tuesday, we watched Trolls World Tour. Mm-hmm. And I can just tell you, everybody in the house loved that thing, man. Yeah. It's very entertaining. It's very funny. I wasn't expecting much out of it, but I mean, I got something out of it too, And then last night, we saw It Chapter 2, which is, I don't know, I thought it was better than I expected it to be.
Did you go in with like lowered expectations because of
Yeah, I mean, sequels
that came out before?
Yeah, well, the reviews were bad. Sequels are usually not as good as the first one. It was actually kind of a quick turnaround for it to come out, So
yeah, it was only a year and a half, I believe.
Yeah,
or 2 years, like straight up 2 years.
Yeah, but it's such a long movie for that too.
Yeah, it's long.
So I wasn't expecting that good of a movie, but I liked it, man. I really liked it. I enjoyed it. I mean, obviously, if you look at it as a whole, the end is. Have you've seen it, right?
Yeah, I saw it in the theater.
Yeah, so if you see it as a whole, it does kind of go off not the rails, but like it completely takes this turn of what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh yeah, I did see the platform. Thank you for reminding me. I saw the platform
I'm gonna check that one out. I think you told me last week to check it out.
Oh yeah. Sorry, I saw it last week. Yeah. We did talk about it, Robert Flores, on our podcast last week. So that tells me you haven't seen the podcast last week.
Dare you, Robert Flores? How dare you have anything better to do?
But yeah, so like going from this weird supernatural thing to a space, crashing spider, was I mean, I can see where people didn't like it, but I mean, I thought it was great. I thought it was part of it.
Yeah, I thought it was good. I liked it. Didn't like it as much as the first one. If you ask anyone like that knows me, I absolutely loved the first It movie. I can rewatch that movie over and over again, that first one, because to me it's not just a horror movie. I see it more as a coming of age movie that just happens to have a clown to eat people. Mm-hmm. But I will say that I think Pennywise in the second one was probably even a little bit more freakier in the second.
Yeah, I think that's part of the reason, like the story, because they're older, so it takes a lot more to get
a lot more to freak them out. And then also that scene with the little girl at the underneath the bleachers. Oh man, that one always gets me too. He's a lot more vicious, it seems, because he just flat out, like, I'm trying to think, you don't really see him eat that many people in the first one. You just
you start off with him eating Georgie,
which is a great way to start. Yeah. But after that, it kind of like you don't see him really kill, I guess, on screen as much. Whereas in the second one, you see him at least kill a couple times on the screen, especially that one inside the House of Mirrors.
Yeah, man, that one was bad. The older guy that got thrown over the river into the river, he ate him. He eats the little girl.
Yeah, man, he kind of just goes crazy in the second one.
Yeah, man, and I think too, like you said, he was more vicious. Well, I mean, he said it too towards the end. He was mad. He had been dreaming of him for 27 years every day, basically, is what he said. So
yeah,
I mean, I would be pretty upset and start eating a lot too.
Yeah. We'll say the one thing I did want and I didn't get was the turtle, because I wanted them to go. I just feel like if you're gonna make it, and I said it when the first movie came out, is if you're gonna make it go balls out and make it, and I guess I kind of get it. But then you kind of shoehorn in this, like, they got started with it, like introducing the fact that it came from space and all that stuff. Like, just finish, like go all the way, like finish the mile. But it is what it is. Still a good movie, I think. I think it gets a little more hate than it should, but that's maybe because I am a horror fan, and I'm more likely to forgive like certain things, especially because I like bad horror movies too. There's nothing wrong with that.
Well, yeah. I mean, everything has its place, but I guess kind of refresh my memory, man. What were the main criticisms of it, dude? Because I don't even remember.
That you have this whole story to bring together. I know one of the big ones people were talking about was the story to bring together the kids, and then immediately you separate them all to have their own like storyline, I guess, to have a little thing. But I didn't have a problem with that. I thought there were certain ones I didn't care for. Like I didn't really care about. Trying to think, the one I really didn't care for was Ben's, I guess. Even though I had that one really freaky imagery of Bev on fire, that was kind of cool. Mm-hmm. But that one I didn't really care for, and I want to say maybe Bill's, but like Richie's was really good with the Paul Bunyan.
Yeah,
right. That was really good, and then what is it, Eddie, the fast talking kid?
Yeah,
Eddie's was really good too. I like that one a lot. But yeah, I mean, I think that was a big criticism. It being too long was a big criticism. I didn't feel like it was too long though. It kind of flew for me, kind of went by. Trying to think, man, it's so long ago since that. So I'm really trying. I can't really think of it either, but the score was still fantastic. Love the score. I'm always going to bring up that. That's always a great score.
Yeah, it was good, man. I mean, dude, I watched it at night, lights off, on the big screen. It was pretty cool, man. I don't care that it's long. I like long movies because they're able to tell a deeper, richer story. Mm-hmm. There is some stuff that gets put in that maybe shouldn't be there, but I mean, if you're gonna have them split up, you have to have all of them have some sort of little episode to get their token or whatever it was. You can't just leave out the ones that are bad. I guess you have to do it.
Yeah,
you take the good with the bad.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, here's some breaking news that I just got right now. Now it's messing up. I don't want to subscribe to the Hollywood Reporter, but thank you. Ant-Man 3 finds its writer with Rick and Morty's scribe.
That's old, man.
Is it?
Yeah.
Someone just posted it now. Well, then the other breaking news is that they've actually set a date for Artemis Fowl to drop on Disney Plus. So have you heard about Artemis Fowl dropping on Disney Plus exclusively?
Which one?
Artemis Fowl.
Oh no, I didn't know about that.
Based off the books. I don't know if you ever read the books. I think I read like the first one. I didn't ever finish them though.
I haven't read them. I do have them in my house. I think the first 3 in my house.
It's an interesting like world to bring to the big screen for sure. Well, not on the big screen, but not Disney Plus. But yeah, I know a couple of weeks ago they announced that it was going to be on Disney Plus, and now they've actually dropped the date saying June 12th.
Oh, that's nice. But that tells me that theaters aren't going to be open June 12th.
I think this is gonna a lot of theaters are going to be done for a very long time, because if this is true, and not only depending on how long this quarantine is going to take, but once the quarantine is lifted, it's going to take a long time before people are actually really comfortable going out. I think this is like you said, this is going to be the new norm. Mm-hmm. Like in terms of like the virtual draft that we're getting pretty soon. I think people not going out is going to be the norm too. Like it's just going to, not because they don't want to, I mean, not because they want to stay in, but it's just going to be that fear thing, man. Like it's, once this is over, everyone's not going to be completely sure. Like, is this really safe? Like, can I go out? Can I be around people like within 6 feet of me? Like, I don't think there's going to be movie theaters are going to be open for more than a year.
Yeah, well, and that makes a lot of sense. I just read an article about AMC. They're going to be doing a private money raise. They're going to raise some money, about $500 million. They have 300 and something million right now in liquid cash, but they said that'll only take them through the end of July. So that told me if they're going through the end of July with 300 million and they need 500 million, they're expecting this to not be over till next year, where they're going to be somewhat not back to normal, but getting at least some revenue in. So that's tough, man. That's a year of businesses prepare for the worst and hope for the best. So they're just preparing for the worst, but they know for sure through July it's not going to happen.
Yeah, man. Like Delisha said, she doesn't think it's going to be back that we're gonna be back out like we used to until next year, maybe even longer. I honestly like.
Yeah, there was a Harvard study that they released that said that social distancing is going to need to take effect and through the end of 2021. So that's this year, next year for social distancing, and it's tough, man. I mean, we got to make tough decisions with that stuff, dude. But I mean, you can't buy health. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that actually here I think someone sent me this earlier. The opening up America again from the White House that they were releasing. I guess like it's a picture that was on ABC 13. It says phase 1, employers to telework where possible and minimize non-essential travel, which I think is what we're in now. Then you have phase 2, schools, churches, bars, gyms, and large venues can reopen with proper social distancing measures. Non-essential travel can resume. And then phase 3 would be churches, bars, gyms, and large venues can reopen with limited social distancing. Visits to senior care facilities and hospitals can resume. And there's no timetable. I think we're still in phase 1. You know, it's not going to change.
We're not close, man. There's just not enough testing. We need more testing, I think.
Yeah, it's crazy. But all right, so what else did you watch? Just It Chapter 2, and that was it?
It Chapter 2, Trolls, the Atlanta Monster thing. I think that's pretty much it. I was supposed to watch Birds of Prey, but I mean, we paid for Trolls, and Trolls, I think it was $20. So I was like, we're just trying to keep it to one $20 movie per week.
Yeah.
Right now. So that was this week. So Birds of Prey. Oh, you know what? You know what I did watch? I rented this one. It was like $3.99. And I was like, damn, that sucks, because it was really good. It was a great movie. Midway. Have you seen Midway?
No.
Exactly. I tell everybody about Midway. I told my friend Robert about Midway. He's like, nah, man, I never heard of it. Well, the problem with Midway, man, is it came out literally, I think, within a week or two of 1917. Mm-hmm. And 1917 got all the publicity, you know, awards darling. It's going to win all these awards. It was shot great. It's just this crazy thing. Midway is more your Pearl Harbor, you know, and it actually has Pearl Harbor in it, but it's like
the movie Pearl Harbor.
Yeah, like that. I mean, Pearl Harbor had a lot of romance in it. This one didn't have as much, but it's more along the lines of just what happened, and then like making a lot of action, you know, and a lot of characters that you're rooting for, and it's just a feel good movie, you know, because you obviously know how it ends, you know, for the most part.
Yeah.
But it was a little bit over 2 hours long. It had some good characters, some good names in it. It had it had some good actors in it too. So it was good, man. It was a good movie. We were excited to watch it, and it was pretty cool.
Okay. All right.
Midway. It was like $2.99, I think, to rent, or $3.99 to rent. So pretty cool.
All right. What I watched, I'm actually using this time to kind of catch up on things that I haven't seen. So like, I'm kind of looking at a list of movies. Especially like if I've heard them in the Schmodown and I haven't seen them, I'm watching them. So like one of them that I watched this week, Blade Runner. I've never seen Blade Runner. Don't know how I feel about it. It's one of those things it's one of those movies I think I have to go back and watch.
Hold on. Blade Runner, the old one or the newer one? The old one. Okay. Yeah. With Harrison Ford.
Yeah, with Harrison Ford, Rutger Hauer, all that good stuff. So I would say I don't know necessarily how much if I like it or not. I like aspects of it. Like I like the aspect of, you know, this. What are they called?
Cyborgs, or what are they?
What they're called. If anyone knows what they're called, please.
Replicants?
Is it replicants? Yes, the replicants. Yeah. I like the idea of the replicants. You know, and the Blade Runner, you know, catching them. I did catch the little hints of. Because I've heard before that it's kind of hinted that Harrison Ford might be a replicant, and you see certain parts where you're like, because the first part that I noticed it was when he's giving that girl the test in the beginning. He's giving that girl the test, and her eye when he has the I guess the device on her eyes light up orange. But that's not the only time that they light up orange. They also light up in his apartment when the light shines on her in a certain way. So I'm like, okay, that's just her eyes. It's not because the device did that. That's what the replicant's eyes do. And
yes.
A few times in the movie that Harrison Ford's eyes do that. So there's maybe like 1 or 2 times where it does it.
Huh.
And then And then with Rutger Hauer's character at the end, saving him basically. I feel like that's because he's a replicant. I think. I don't know. I have to go back and watch it. Also, I heard that there's like 3 versions of it, and I think I watched the theatrical version. So I don't.
There's a director's cut, I think, too.
I think there's like a director's cut. There's a final cut, and I think everyone always says the final cut's the best one.
I haven't seen all of them. I've seen the director's cut and I've seen the theatrical version. Yeah, man, the thing on their eyes, that's the director. What was the director's name?
Ridley Scott.
Ridley Scott. He did that on purpose. And I was watching actually I was listening to a podcast with him on it, and he explained how he did it. And it's just like
badass.
But it's like, one, it's awesome, right? It's awesome because it's such attention to detail and small details. And 2, it's like so low tech. Like they just shine the light from the opposite direction at him.
Crazy, man.
And he made sure like the camera was at the right spot to catch that light or whatever.
Yeah, that was it. Crazy, like what they could do with very little.
Yeah.
That's why I like going back and watching old movies. Like my girlfriend doesn't like old movies. She tells me her running joke is that she won't watch anything that was made before she was born. So then I throw at her, "Have you seen Jurassic Park?" And she's like, "Yeah." And I was like, "That was before you were born, because that was 93. You were born 94. You're a hypocrite. You're a liar."
Man. Oh, 94, dude. I'm just thinking about this week. I went back and I rewatched. I don't know if I told you the Goodfellas.
Yeah, I watched that for the first time like a few months ago.
Wow.
I know,
dude. It's such a classic, man. It came out in 1990. This July is the 30-year anniversary of that movie, of allowing Martin Scorsese to make even better movies, because he was on a lifeline before that, and then that came out, and that was just kind of like, okay. Yeah, dude. Goodfellas is a great movie, dude. 1990. That's 4 years before your girl was born.
I have a hot take, though. Hot take.
On Goodfellas?
Yeah, it's not my favorite. Like, it's not my favorite, like, crime movie.
What is? What would you put up there?
Like, in terms of gangster movies? It's Godfather Part 2, man.
Wrong. No, I'm just joking.
No, you're wrong.
No. Godfather Part 2 is up there.
Probably my favorite.
Yeah. Godfather Part 2. What else? There's Casino. Casino was made after Goodfellas. And that was a really good movie. The Irishman is up there now, dude. The Irishman is really good.
Stop, man. It's just so boring.
It's not, man.
It takes a bit to get going.
No, but it's all if you look at it,
it's also a Scorsese thing, though. Also,
it's all part of the story, man. It's all part of the story.
I get it. Scorsese does that because even with Goodfellas, it takes a little bit to get started.
Because he's explaining what it is, and he's explaining the culture and the life of what it was for Henry Hill, man. Delisha said, it feels like it's gonna take her the rest of her life to catch up on movies.
No one's ever gonna catch up to what they have.
No, man, it's so difficult.
So many holes. I'm doing it right now, and then I'm like, because I heard it was one of the worst movies ever made. I watched another movie.
Which one?
I like watching bad movies to see if it's so bad it's good.
The Room? No, not The Room. What's it called?
The Room, right? I have seen The Room, and it is so bad. It is so bad it's good. There's so many quotable lines that aren't good. Like, I did not hit it. I did not. Oh, hi, Mark. Like the very, very quick switch from "I did not." Hi, Mark. Or what is it? You're tearing me apart, Lisa.
I think you love that movie, dude.
That movie's good, dude. It's so bad. It's one of those so bad it's good. It really is. It's how I feel about not Batman and Robin, but Batman Forever.
Yeah.
With Jim Carrey and Tommy Lee Jones. That movie's bad, but it's good.
Yeah, I feel like it's a parody almost, man. But
Delicious said, "Don't butcher her," but outside of the Dark Knight trilogy, she doesn't think she's seen a Nolan movie.
Oh man,
I'm not gonna hate you for that one because his older work I haven't seen. Like I haven't seen my man
Scorsese.
Scorsese one you got to go back and watch, man. Like Scorsese's really good, even though he's a Marvel hater.
Yeah, he is. That's funny.
It's so good.
He's just an old dude, man. You know, he's an old grump.
curmudgeon.
Yeah, exactly. An old curmudgeon that likes movies his way because that's how he grew up watching them.
Hey, you know what? Spielberg said the same thing about but he said it about VOD movies, about like Netflix.
Yeah. He said, yeah. And now look,
they have to be in the theater, and now he's doing this television series for Apple. I think right after he said that, he said he like signed that deal with Apple TV.
Dude, their hypocrisy knows no bounds, man.
It's funny because you can. Everyone's got a price.
Yeah, dude.
If you threw enough money at Scorsese, he'd make a Marvel movie.
Yeah, you don't want to make a Marvel movie, Scorsese. How about you make the most money you ever made in your career to make Ant-Man 5? Okay.
I guess. I wouldn't actually mind seeing him make like a Daredevil movie, because that would work like a Kingpin.
Oh shoot! I saw
Hammerhead.
I saw real quick. You reminded me because Daredevil was in Hell's Kitchen. I saw Hell's Kitchen this week too.
I don't know what that is.
Oh crap! You don't know what that is? Hell's Kitchen?
Nuh-uh.
It is Hell's Kitchen, right? Yeah, that's what it's called.
Or is it The Kitchen?
The Kitchen. God damn it.
The one with what's her name? Elizabeth Moss.
Elizabeth Moss.
I heard about it. I just haven't
what's
seen
her
it.
name? What's her name? Tiffany Haddish, and what's the other one? Oh man, you know the funny one.
Tiffany Haddish.
No, the other one. The man, I don't know. It's three of them, but it was pretty good too. It's a pretty good. And actually, it said it was a DC Vertigo based on a DC comic books or a graphic novel or something like that. I mean, that one I remember that one getting a lot of hate because it was actually Melissa McCarthy. Boom. So it was directed by a female, and it got a lot of hate, man. I don't know why it got a lot of hate. I thought it was a good movie. I thought it was different, but it did get a lot of hate when it came out, saying that it's trying to be this or it's trying to be that. But if you don't think anything going into it, it's a pretty good movie, man. It's just about three wives in three different situations with mob guys in the 70s, and those three mob guys' husbands, like those other their husbands, they end up getting caught for being stupid, and they go to jail for 4 or 5 years, and then they're supposed to be taken care of by the gang or the mob or whatever, and they're not. They're just getting, a few dollars here and there, and so then they end up saying, well, we need to do what we need to do because we're not getting our money. So they go out and they start their own protection service, and they start getting paid, and they end up taking over, and it just creates a lot of like conflict because then the husbands come out. I don't know, man. It's a good movie, man. It's a pretty good movie for what it is.
That sounds cool. Yes, Alicia, Hell's Kitchen is a great TV show with Gordon Ramsay. I love
it. That is true. Especially
if you watch it on Amazon Prime because it's uncut, it's uncensored.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I didn't know that. I have Amazon Prime. I'm
dude. Watch some episodes of Hell's Kitchen and just listen to the great. Like, I don't even understand how this show, because I think it's still airing, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know if they make new seasons, but the things he says to people, like, it wouldn't be allowed.
Dude, the funniest thing when he makes them put bread on the side of their faces.
Where are you? I'm an idiot sandwich. Yeah. It's fantastic, man. He's the best. But then, like, because the appeal of the show is that even though he's an asshole, he's like that because he's so passionate about his work. He takes it extremely seriously.
About the food.
Yeah, he takes the food extremely seriously. So whenever you see him when he's not working, he's perfectly fine.
Yeah, he's a normal human being.
Yeah. They're like, oh, hey, chef. And he's like, it's not, hey, it's Gordon. Like, it's Gordon. Call me Gordon. You're like, oh, okay, Gordon. But then the problem is, though, the next day you see him in the kitchen and you're like, hey, what's up, Gordon? Like, hey, chef, get back in line. Oh, Jesus.
You call that a risotto?
Yeah, that's my the one that I say I always use it for, like, if someone cooking and they're like, how does it taste? Like, it's fucking raw. That's my go-to. I love it. But what else? Okay, so the shitty movie I saw was not The Room. The shitty movie I saw, and this is not a so bad it's good. This is a so bad I never want to see it, and I wish I can get the 2 hours back of my life.
You can't get the time back. You can't get it back.
Battlefield Earth.
Oh my God, I could have told you. I could have told you not to watch that, man. I could have told you. I could have saved you 2 hours.
But even if you told me not to watch it, I probably would have watched it. You tell me not to do something, I'm going to do it. It's so bad, man. There are points where there's like literally points I'm watching the movie, something happens, and I have to go back because I feel like I missed something. Because I'm like, wait, hold on, wait, what happened? And I go back and I'm like, oh, they didn't explain what happened. Okay, I just continue. The messed up part is it's a cool concept of like the people, because it's something that like you think about, like, because when I first started, I was like, oh shit, like this is taking. I thought this was like a futuristic movie. It's taking place in the past, and then the twist, oh, it's taking place in the future, and it's just not good, man. Like the acting's not good. John Travolta is in a. It's like.
Did you like his hair and boots?
I hated him. I hate it for some reason. I was like, why do these people have hairy hands? They had very hairy hands. I was like, I don't know, man. The machine was cool. That learning machine was kind of cool.
Yeah. The concept, right?
Yeah, like that's a cool concept. I actually like the main actor because I remember him as the sniper from Saving Private Ryan.
Mm-hmm.
So he's always going to be cool in my book. But man, that movie's just not good. And I wish I can get 2 hours back of my life, and I can't.
No, man, that movie sucked.
So in order to make up for that, I watched Return of the Jedi.
There you go. That'll kind of offset a little bit, but not that much.
I kind of got my 2 hours back.
Dude, when I watch movies like that, I'm like you like, I know we know, but do we really know? Like, do you conceptualize how difficult it is to make a movie in Hollywood? You know, and for this movie to go through all the phases and get greenlit, like a writer wrote that, somebody pitched it to a studio. They said this is a great movie. Let me throw millions of dollars into the production. A director read this and said, okay, I can make this into a good movie. And then they directed it, and then it sucked. And then the studio saw this before they released it, and they said, yeah, we're gonna release this movie because we have so much money tied into it. It just, I don't know, dude. It's a ridiculous thing, dude.
That's the kind of movie that people get fired for.
Oh yeah, dude.
A lot of people get fired for movies like that because I heard it was like, I gotta look at the budget, but I'm pretty sure it was a pretty big budget. Everyone was expecting it to be a big hit because I even saw the trailer. The trailer's not bad, man. Like the trailer,
the trailer got you.
Yeah, I want to see the trailer. I want to see the trailer more than I want to see the movie. Like, let me see. To see how much this movie cost. Because it was supposed to be like the next big thing, and it just didn't do good at all. But yeah, so then I ended up watching Return of the Jedi and remembered how great that movie is. Even though I had the idiotic.
Dude, it was 73 million budget, and it made 29.7 million at the box office.
Yeah, man, it's bad. That's bad. Oh well.
It has a 3% Rotten Tomatoes, dude.
It says it was written by two people, but I'm pretty sure they just dressed up John Travolta and just like kind of filmed him doing things around the set.
Oh well, look, it's based on a book by L. Ron Hubbard.
Oh,
you know who L. Ron Hubbard is, right?
Yeah, he's the founder of Scientology.
That's correct.
The man has, I believe, Joe Rogan always points out the fact that he's written the most fiction out of anybody. Like in the world or something like that.
Yeah, but
it's overplayed. But
no. In fairness, back then, I mean, they were getting paid like cents on the word, so they had to be pulp writers and just write whatever they wanted to get paid a living decent wage.
He didn't say it was good fiction.
Yeah,
it was fiction. I can write a fiction and it not be good.
Dude, there was gonna be a Battlefield Earth 2.
So glad there wasn't.
Travolta has said it's become a cult classic.
No, it hasn't. That's not even like, at least like The Room gets like constant, like it would get runs in theaters because people would want to see it with an audience. You know, people don't want to go see Battlefield Earth. Like people even like I don't think it's a good bad movie. But people like watching Batman and Robin because they say it's so good it's bad. It's so bad it's good, or so good it's bad.
Yeah, like I feel like Batman and Robin and Batman Forever, they have like this this thing where it's like nostalgic to an extent where you can go back and look at the time, like this came out in 97 or whatever. And like at that time, people were thinking, man, this is going to be cool, And now looking back at it, it's bad, but you can see why at that time it was cool, I guess. You know what I mean? Or what they were trying to shoot for, trying to go for. And again, too, like, it makes it like, especially the Batman franchise, dude, in that time, you have to go from the 88 or 89 Batman with Michael Keaton. And that one walks a thin line, dude, on parody as well. And I think that's what they were trying to do. They were trying to go farther from that franchise, from the Michael Keaton franchise.
Yeah.
Like, you got to go into new technology. You got to push it. And then it came back and it was like, no, it's too far. You went too far.
Yeah. Say good morning, everybody. Say morning. Say morning.
Hello.
Say hi. Say hi. All right, go to your mama. Go to your mama. Yeah, he's dude. Okay, we're gonna go on a little tangent, but right. you have sons. He's getting potty trained right now.
Oh,
he's
yeah,
getting really good. He's letting us know when he's got to go. It's all great, dude. He will not stop pulling this thing out.
He will not stop doing it.
Is it normal?
Well, like to pee or like just
just messing with it. Like he's always got his hand in his pants.
Yeah, I mean that's unfortunately that's something that little boys do.
It's like every 5 minutes I'm like, dude, hand out your pants.
Yeah, he found something, so he's exploring it.
It's so funny. Yeah, I think Joe Coy has that joke about his kid like playing with his, and then he's like, it's okay, it doesn't go away.
It never goes away.
You'll never stop doing that.
That's funny, dude. Yeah, that's normal, dude.
All right. So yeah, we're talking about the Batman movies. Yeah, I think it's the Joel Schumacher thing, and people forget that Joel Schumacher is not really a bad director. He was just kind of given, because I do like Batman Forever a lot. I don't think it is a bad movie in terms of like it's cheesy, and it's schlocky, but I like it because it's just fun to me. Like I think Jim Carrey and even Tommy Lee Jones look like they're having fun in the roles. And Tommy Lee Jones is known for being like this, like straight faced, like very, very curmudgeon, and he looks like he's having a blast in that movie. Whereas like I don't like Batman and Robin even from like a so bad it's good perspective. I just think it's not good. Arnie is the worst. And Dr. Freeze is actually a really good villain.
Dude, Dr. Freeze is one of my favorite villains, dude, from Batman the Animated Series. So when that movie came out, I was like, oh yes. And then Arnold Schwarzenegger, I was like, yes, it's all coming together. And I was like, damn, this sucks.
Yeah. I don't know what Uma Thurman's doing. She's trying so hard, and I kind of feel bad. But and Chris O'Donnell's bad as Robin.
And that's, dude. Think about it, man. Like from my perspective, dude. Whenever I was growing up, Batman the Animated Series was, I mean, the best thing in the world. And you see, they're gonna make a movie, and it's Arnold Schwarzenegger, George Clooney, Chris O'Donnell at the time was like this up and comer, this bad boy dude and I was like, man, he's gonna be in it. And then you have Uma Thurman, Tommy Lee Jones. I was like, man, this can't fail, man. This can't go wrong, And then it comes out, and I was like, oh man, like, all right, I guess I'll take it. I'm not gonna complain.
Yeah. Then we got the brilliance that was Batman Begins and The Dark Knight, and the trash that is Dark Knight Rises.
Oh my god,
it's trash.
You have adopted the dark.
The reason, my biggest reason why I hate that movie so much is because Bane is so good. I actually really like Tom Hardy's Bane, even though it goes completely away from what the character is in the comics. At least it doesn't completely botch it like it did in Batman and Robin. Because I think someone had to explain to me that was Bane, and I was like, oh no.
Somebody had to explain to you.
I was like, that's not Bane. That's not. I like refuse to believe it. That's not Bane. But Tom Hardy is actually really good as Bane, and I think he plays a really good villain. He has so many memorable lines.
Dude, when he puts his hand on his face and he goes, "Do you feel power? Do you have power?" or something.
Oh my god! And then as soon as Talia is like involved, it completely undermines him as a villain.
What do you mean, man?
Then he becomes because even like in the scene where she's talking and he's just kind of like, dude, that's not Bane. Like Bane should be like her equal. And, like I didn't care.
Yeah. I mean, I get that, dude, but you can't have two, super villains. You have to have one pulling the strings and one the muscle. I mean, that's how the equation to movies.
But when you establish Bane as that character who's pulling all the strings, and then to find out that he's the one having his strings pulled, I don't know. It just didn't. It didn't work.
Well, dude,
it works for other people. It didn't work.
It's a trilogy, man. Like, I mean, that's it started with Ra's al Ghul, and it ends, with its progeny. With so
Talia. Worst death scene ever.
Yeah, dude, that was. I did not like that, man. That was. But I mean, I like the Dark Knight.
She's not a bad actress either. I always forget her name. I don't know why I always forget her name. It's a French name. She's French, but that was a bad scene. Not a bad movie. I don't care. Mm-mm. Also, the fact that the ending scene with the bomb. Mm-hmm. Why does he say you have like? What does he say? Like 40? I think he says like 45 seconds to get rid of this, and he spends like 3 minutes saying bye to everybody.
Because it's movie magic. That's why I like.
I guess, man. I guess. But anyways, that's what I did this week. Also, Return of the Jedi. Everyone should go back and watch Return of the Jedi and all the old school Star Wars movies because they're fantastic.
I'm on a hiatus from the movies because I'm watching the Clone Wars cartoons. Yeah, I'm starting with season 1 again. So.
You don't do the list?
No, I haven't done it. I don't want to do it. I think the Clone Wars is the big thing that's missing in my viewership of Star Wars.
No, I know. You don't do the episode list that they have, where it's like you haven't heard of that?
Mm-mm.
It's like the list that it's like how it actually happens in chronological order, but just
so like it skips around in the seasons or what?
Yeah, because I heard before I even started, like I even looked it up, but I heard that the episodes don't play out in order. At least in the first, I think the first 3 seasons, when that mainly is that they kind of just jump from moment to moment because they're pulling stories from the Clone Wars, which is kind of cool. But not everything plays out chronologically until like those later seasons.
Well, I'm gonna look that up then, man, because I'm only like 4 episodes in, and I watch it with my son. So I'll look it up and see if there's a better. I just like whenever I look up, lists of Star Wars stuff, they tell you to watch, this movie first, and then this Star Wars and cartoon, and I don't want to do that. I just want to do the Clone Wars to.
I think IGN has the list for the Clone Wars episodes. If you look up, if you just look up Clone Wars episodes IGN list or whatever, and it might come.
I'll look it up, man. I'm not too far in where it messes me up. So.
All right, yeah, because I heard like when you do that, it just kind of gives you a better. It flows better. That's all. It's not crazy. It's not making you do all this other stuff. It just kind of makes it flow a little bit better because everyone says that that first season is kind of hard to follow sometimes.
Yeah, man, I've been gathering that already.
Okay, so yeah, this might help you out a little bit, but yeah. All right, let's go ahead and jump into this wrestling stuff, man. So there's a lot of stuff going on in the wrestling world. So we've got the movie stuff out the way. Let's jump into business. I'm gonna go in order that it came out.
Okay.
I'm not gonna go into the bad stuff that happened. I'm gonna go into the Ronda Rousey thing first.
Okay.
I'm gonna go ahead and pull up her tweet. I believe it is.
You can put it on the screen or no? I'm
gonna put it on the screen. So give me 5 seconds, guys, to pull up this tweet from Ronda Rousey. Ronda Rousey, was it kayfabe killer? Was it?
Yeah.
First of all, I don't think she knows what that word means. Where is it? Damn it, she's posted a lot of stuff. All right, here it is. Kayfabe killer. All right, let me just share the screen real quick. Share the screen. We're going to pull up this one. Boom, can you see it? Are you with me?
Yes, I can see the whole thing.
All right, here we go, guys. So we have the kayfabe killer tweet. Says, anyone who is outraged by me calling pro wrestling, quote unquote, fake fights for fun has never been in a real fight. While you all are tiptoeing around bruising some pro wrestlers' huge soft egos, no one is thinking about all the real fighters you're insulting when pretending pro wrestling is somehow on the same level of realism. Yes, I understand wrestling 300 days a year for years on end is incredibly tough on the body and a difficult profession, but do you know what would happen if you got in 300 real fights in a year? You would be dead. Now,
no lies detected.
No lies detected. She's absolutely completely right. There's a reason why fighters space out their fights. Why you fight? Why you go through a camp? Because you have to prepare. You have to let your body recover. Not everybody can be down on Cerrone and immediately want to fight afterwards. Especially fight the baddest dude, one of the baddest dudes to fight right after you fought Ali Quinta. But she's not wrong. In terms of if you that's the big thing. If you take wrestling put on the same level of realism as real fighting, yes, you are an idiot, and you should probably take this to heart. Thing is, most wrestling fans, majority of wrestling fans, aren't saying that
at all.
Like, no one ever says that. I think she mistook people not accepting her as them saying that or not liking her as like them saying that they don't respect her as a fighter or something like that. And we all know that she's a winner. She likes to win. So when she loses, she takes it very seriously, or when something happens that she didn't plan for, she doesn't take it very easily. Take losing her title for example. She won. She got cocky and decided to box with one of the a top flight kickboxer in Holly Holm and got knocked out for it. And then took some time away, came back and fought the real baddest woman on the planet, and Amanda Nunes, and got destroyed for it, and immediately left. She left. She ditched. She went away. Never wanted to come back again. She comes to the WWE. Not necessarily booed, but not necessarily welcomed with open arms, I would say, because everyone was afraid that they were going to push her to the moon. And all credit to WWE, I don't think they pushed her as fast as they probably wanted to push her. I think they took their time with her because they realized how green she was. I believe when she first showed up, she kind of hurt. She hurt a few people in her first couple matches, because she had to learn not to throw people around as hard as she was with her judo, because she's a top flight judo practitioner, and she can actually hurt somebody.
Dude, she's a legit high level judo practitioner, dude. She got a bronze medal in the Olympics.
Yeah. And those throws that she does look like they hurt.
Dude, I've seen training videos of her throwing heavyweights, 265-pound heavyweights, like nothing, and landing on them. Like, it's just amazing what she can do in judo, dude.
Yeah, and I think like that's my biggest problem with this is like no one ever says that WWE is real or wrestling is real as real as the UFC. Like, there's a reason why, even though we hate it, there's a reason why we understand that Brock Lesnar is this monster, because he's actually a monster. Why it takes 4 claymores to take him down like it did at WrestleMania for Drew McIntyre. Because it probably would take a lot to take down Brock Lesnar, unless you're Cain Velasquez.
Yes.
It's not
or Frank Mir the first time.
But in terms of like Ronda, like when she eventually like got the title, I didn't think it was bad, especially considering who she beat. She beat Alexa Bliss for it. Alexa Bliss, who is literally 5 feet tall. She's 5 feet tall. She got destroyed by Ronda, and it made complete sense. Like, no one was ever doubting that. What people didn't like is, or not didn't like, but just unfortunately for wrestling fans, they think they believe you have to go through this like long process of being in the business, starting out in the indies, working your way from the indies to here, to where you're at to being the top star. And I get it. You can be completely mad at that. But when you start like attacking the actual business, and it makes it sound like you didn't know what you were signing up for in terms of fake, when you call it fake fighting.
But I mean, and I get it, man. We'll go ahead and finish, and I'll let you, and I'll tell you.
I think the only problem I have really is like the fake fights for fun, because I feel like she's trying to act cool. Like, you did this, like, oh, this is not real fighting, it's fake fighting, and it's one of those. It sounds petty as hell when you're like, oh, I don't care, it's just fake fighting, is because the crowd didn't like you. Now, don't get me wrong, if she said all this and then it came out that this is like her next character for the WWE, I'd be like, genius. It's absolutely genius. It's great. Continue doing what you're doing. The problem is, I don't think it is.
Yeah, I don't think so.
It's her, and she's saying huge soft pro wrestlers, huge soft egos.
And she's talking about herself. She's projecting.
She's got a huge soft ego.
Yeah, dude.
And that's why you have like wrestlers. I think I sent you the video of Becky Lynch before WrestleMania when she beat her and Charlotte. She had said what she said, and then like a year later, this happens with what's happening now with her seeming like she's not really going to come back, that she's kind of done. It's kind of crazy that Becky kind of saw it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. So a couple of things. One, Delicious said that. Side note: Serena Williams is her baddest woman on the planet. I mean, she's up there. I think she played in like a high level tournament while she was like 3 or 4 months pregnant or something crazy like that.
Dope.
So I mean, that's she's awesome, man. I really appreciate a lot of what Serena Williams does in her game.
But it's madness.
Yeah, I mean, she's not a fighter, but she's like the best in her sport for however long it's been. She's been up there for a long time, dude. So a couple things on what you said. One, you said that she doesn't respect it, I guess, but she was qualifying that statement. She said, I know that they put their bodies, through whatever for 300 days out of the year. Like, she knows that. So because she did it for a time.
Yeah.
But I can't help but think that a lot of this does have a lot to do with some sort of jealousy on everybody else's part, because like you said, she came into the business, immediately got pushed, and pushed to the highest level, where I think I saw an interview and I sent it to you. I forgot who it was. It might have been Becky Lynch talking about it recently, talking about it and saying that, she didn't grind, she didn't go through the whole thing. And that's always, I don't know, man, it's a weird issue for me. Like Conor McGregor, for example. I mean, he didn't start training until he was like 18 years old or something crazy like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, look at him now. He bypassed everybody and he's gone farther than anybody else. Some people just, go farther faster. You know what I mean? And it's crazy. And you look at somebody like Adesanya, and you think, oh man, this guy came from nowhere. Man, he's been grinding in kickboxing for a long time, dude. Like he has a kickboxing record, and now he has an MMA record. So like that just, I don't know. Like, yes, Ronda has an ego. We know that for a fact. She can't take losing. She's a front runner. When she lost the first time, she took time away. She did this crazy interview where it was like they had to come to her house, and she said she had thoughts of suicide and all this other stuff. Like, she does not do well with challenging moments in her life when she's not on top. So that's easily said. I don't think she understood what she was getting herself into as far as the culture of WWE and how they protect it, and how they like the fighters, the wrestlers protect the culture of the WWE and what's said about it and what's real. Now on the flip side of that, Becky Lynch or whoever, like, there's no end outcome. You could talk all the crap you want about Ronda Rousey. When you see her, you're not going to do anything to her.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're not going to fight her, are you?
Becky's Irish.
Becky's Irish, and she's gonna get her butt whooped if she tries to fight Ronda Rousey.
Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that she would beat her. I'm just saying she might fight her.
It's just dumb. It's like I get what she's saying and what she's doing, but at this point, the way you look at it is Ronda's an outsider. She doesn't get it. Even though she got pushed, she doesn't understand the hill you have to climb, the mountain you have to climb to get to where she was actually at. And I think that happens to a lot of transplants. That's why somebody like Shayna Baszler, that's like somebody like Matt Riddle
brings up in the comment.
Yeah, like Matt Riddle. Like they know I've never heard them say anything bad about it or to that extent, because they were actually in MMA before they fought, but then they had to start at the bottom in the WWE or in the wrestling world, and work their way up to where they're at now, and they're still not even at the heights that Ronda has reached, for the most part. So
yeah.
that's why, because they understand it, So I don't know, man. I just think it's a bad look for Ronda. Like you said, if it is a thing for her character when she comes back, that's great. I doubt that it is. It's just Ronda being Ronda at this point.
Yeah, and it just sucks because, like, honestly, like it just upsets me because I actually liked Ronda in the WWE. I had no problem with Ronda.
You said she was good. You said she was good.
I thought she had so much potential. She was learning, and when I found out that she was doing like house shows and stuff, I was even like, to me, that gave even more respect. Like, got even more of my respect because she doesn't have to do that. She's a star. She doesn't have to go on the road 300 days out of the year. She could have had a Brock Lesnar type contract. Because Brock Lesnar doesn't do nothing. Brock Lesnar makes like 6 appearances in a year,
and that's why you love him.
I love Brock Lesnar, favorite wrestler of all time. That's not true. But yeah, like I liked her in WWE. I was actually hoping for a return. I thought a return would be cool. This kind of sours me on it. I don't really care to see her return, just because I don't think she won't be able to handle the heat when she comes back. Like, if
there would be so much heat, bro.
Yeah, she would have to come back as this disrespecting the business type character. You understand? Like,
like spitting on it, and then everybody else is trying to teach her a lesson, and she always wins, so they don't teach her the lesson, and you always want to see her get taught that lesson,
Exactly. Like, or some stuff like where she's challenging for the belt, and she's like, I don't even. This is a fake belt.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring my real belt for this fight.
Yeah, it'd be cool. But that's not. She can't handle it. I don't think because she's not that great of an actress, so she can't handle it.
Yeah, dude, she's I don't know.
She's a bad actress.
Bad. Yes, man.
She's so bad. But yeah, man, I just
like Delicious said, Ronda should take some pointers from her compadre Shayna Baszler, who not only can kill it in the ring but in character work, which is true. It's true. Absolutely. But will Ronda do that? Will Ronda, in her mind, stoop to asking Shayna Baszler for help? No, man.
But it's also like you said, her with Shayna and Matt Riddle, they weren't known commodities when they went to wrestling. Mm-hmm. They left MMA to do wrestling, but they weren't the top star. Even though she had lost and she hadn't fought in years, Ronda's still a household name in the MMA community. Like, she's always, not in just the MMA community, in the world. Like, she's always going to be known as the baddest woman on the planet. She's always going to be known as Rowdy Ronda Rousey. Like, that's going to be a thing. And so she didn't have to do that and go to the indies and work her way up. She got the fast pass, and that's what happens when you're a star. I don't hate on it, because that's what you kind of want in terms of like this business, and especially me as a lover of wrestling, I want more eyes on it. So if it takes someone like Ronda Rousey coming in to get more eyes on it, I have no problem with it. I'm not a defender, and I'm not a gatekeeper, because that's not how things get bigger.
Yeah, that's the thing too. Like, it's a fine line between gatekeeping and being like, oh, you need to go to the bottom. But like, dude, I'm when Conor had his meteoric rise, dude, I was happy for it. Like, I want more eyes on it. Yeah, man. And in my mind, the way I want it, like, obviously, like, people call them casuals. I don't like the name, but they'll call them casuals that watch Conor or want to watch Conor, But my thought process is, well, hopefully they watch the whole card, and those casuals can go from a little more casual to a little bit more real fans, where they want to watch more because they saw a good fight on the prelims, or they saw a good fight on the main card before the Conor fight, and that's my thought process, because I want eyeballs on the sport. Yeah. And so I don't think gatekeeping is like I said, like, gatekeeping is a fine line. Like, yeah, there's some times where maybe certain people like a Ronda need to go down to the bottom and start, that they can't handle the success they have, the platform they have, because they have super fragile egos, man.
Yeah. All right. Go ahead.
No. I was just saying that that, like, and I was thinking too, where would you put a Cain Velasquez on this? Is he getting fast tracked, or did he go to AAA and work his way up?
I haven't heard anything.
I know, but I'm thinking we haven't heard anything because of the whole COVID-19 thing. But would you say his trajectory initially was more like Ronda or more like a Matt Riddle or what?
I think they were putting him more as a, not as much as a Ronda because he's not as big of a name, but he was gonna get. I think he was gonna kind of get that fast track. In terms of, he immediately got a championship match against Brock when he came back, but obviously there's built-in story there because Kane actually whooped his ass. But yeah, I guess my last thing I'm gonna say on this is, fans, diehard fans, you want casuals. You always want casuals. I know it sounds weird to say that, but you always want casuals because that means that there's always going to be eyes on the product. Even if it's not all the time, even if the casual fan's not watching every single episode of Raw, every single episode of NXT or SmackDown or AEW, you still want the goal is to always have like the big event, like WrestleMania being that one that everyone was like, we're going to watch that. We're going to watch WrestleMania, or in terms of MMA, Fight Week, International Fight Week.
International Fight Week, yeah.
You want that to be your biggest card. You want most eyes on that card because you want as many people watching. Or you want, like, beginning of the year, Connor. Dude, you know how many people when I went to the bar, how many people were at that bar?
Dude, that was ridiculous, dude.
It's crazy, man. Like, and you want that. That's not a bad thing. And like Delish said she doesn't hate on her for being a household name. For her, it was just a perception that she didn't care for the business that she signed up for. So, and that's exactly what we're talking about. It seems like you didn't understand what you were getting into, but I don't believe that's true. I believe that she knew what she was signing up for. She just couldn't handle it. And that's
I think, I mean, if you think about it, you know, she had been a wrestling fan for a long time. That's why her name was Ronda Rousey.
And I believe Roddy Piper gave her, like was said, she's allowed to have that name.
Yeah.
She has his jacket that she wore to the ring every match.
Yeah, so I think that because she was a fan growing up, I think she saw it as one thing. You know, but then she didn't understand what it was behind the scenes. You know what I mean? She never took the time because she was busy doing her judo, doing MMA, to figure out exactly what it was. And then when she figured out, it wasn't for her, you know?
Yeah, and being a wrestler is not, you can't have thin skin. When you actually have to legit play a heel, like when you have to you have to be the heel, you have to get, and like I've heard stories of like back in the day, like how bad the heat was, especially when people took it like seriously, how bad it was that like they were getting, like, I think Jesse Ventura said that he got cornered in a parking lot at knife point because a fan wanted to kill him because of something he did.
Yeah.
It's crazy, man. Like you can't, not everybody can handle that. Jesse Ventura's built from a different kind of cloth.
Yeah, dude, he definitely is, man.
Those wrestlers back then were built from a different kind of, like, especially Jake the Snake Roberts, I'm sure.
Oh, dude, that Beyond the Mat thing was crazy, man. I think it was Beyond the Mat, right? That documentary about Jake the Snake, or with Jake the Snake in it.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, dude, that's crazy. Yeah, he didn't warm up. He just smoked before the match, and then he went up there.
Did you hear? On Joe Rogan's podcast, he told, I think he's telling the story of the time that he brought. Do you remember the Cobra when he tied up Macho Man Randy Savage in the ropes, and he brought the Cobra out, and the Cobra basically was chewing on his arm.
Holy crap!
On Macho Man's arm. I believe he's talking about Macho Man asked him a bunch of times, like before that happens, like, it doesn't have any venom, right? He's like, no, none of my snakes have venom. Like they've had their glands taken out, so they don't have venom. He's like, all right, man. And he, like, I think like before they went out there like 5 more times, Macho Man's like, you're sure? Macho Man honestly thought that Jake wanted to kill him. I was like, dude, that's insane,
dude. Those two are my favorite wrestlers, dude. Jake the Snake Roberts with his DDT, and then Macho Man with his
the diving elbow.
Dude, his promos though, man. His promos, I find myself. Yeah, oh yeah, Mean Gene Okerlund, the cream of the crop. Yeah, that guy. Yeah, dude, he was just phenomenal, dude. But
absolutely.
Real quick, dude. I forgot to. I think it was this week or last week. I forgot to tell you. We saw the main event, which is a WWE movie. Have you heard of it?
Oh, the one with the kid.
Yes, dude.
Is it good?
It's really good. It's a really good kids movie. You got my kids hooked on it. My kids loved it. They thought it was amazing. And I think it's a really unique way to incorporate wrestling into a movie. It was really cool, dude.
I have
It
to
was
check
really
it out.
cool. Yeah,
You're
dude,
gonna
check it
start
out.
showing them. They're gonna start watching wrestling every week now.
Well, yeah, dude, they were asking about it. They were definitely asking about it because
awesome.
they have some real wrestlers in there. What's his name is in there?
Keith Lee. I know Keith Lee.
Yeah, Keith Lee's in there. He plays a big role, and he's a very he was a good actor, man. He was a good actor in the movie.
He's a good guy.
Yeah, and he was a good guy in the movie too. So it was really good, dude.
All right, man. I like that.
You know who else is in there?
Who?
What's that guy's name? Dang, dude, he's I think he's dating one of the women wrestlers, but he's a bigger guy with long blonde hair, and it's usually always like wet. And he's oh man, what's that guy's name? Owen? Is it Owen something?
Kevin Owens?
Is it Kevin?
No, that's not long. That's not long hair. Owen something. Hold on, I'm gonna look it up. What is the movie called? Main Event.
Yeah, I'm looking it up right now. Main Event. The Main Event.
No, look it up. Sorry, guys. When we can't think of something, we always gotta look it up first.
Yeah.
Main Event, Netflix. All right, let's see. And now my internet wants to go slow. Great. Anyway, so while we're doing that, let's jump into these. So from everybody knows the Adam Cole.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the guy?
Is it him?
Adam Cole. Delicious said Adam Cole. He has brown hair.
No, it was not him. No, it was not him. He's a bigger guy, like chunkier.
Chunkier. Otis?
Does he have long hair that's always like wet?
Yeah, but he's a weirdo.
Yeah, he's a weirdo. He's a weirdo in the movie too. In the movie, he's called the Stinkface.
Let me see. Wrestling movie. Because fucking Google's going slow. The Main Event.
Otis Dozovich.
Otis Dozovich? Oh, okay, cool. Yeah. Yeah, he's a weirdo.
Yeah, he's in it.
Fantastic.
He's in it, and he plays a funny part. He plays a funny part in it too, dude. So he was in it. He was really good in it too. The Miz is obviously, made for television, dude. Whatever. Man. Whatever he does.
The dude's money, bro. Like he really is. Otis Dozovich. Yeah, man. Otis. He's the one that. Okay, so when we're talking about the writer that got released also for the for one of the best, even though she had one of the best storylines, she wrote the storyline of Otis and Mandy Rose. So Mandy Rose is a very beautiful wrestler, and before Otis came onto the main roster, he would always tweet at tweet at Mandy. It was like a running joke, and she was in on it also, but like there's a thing. So like he finally shoots his shot at one point.
Oh, so they're not really dating?
No, they're not really dating.
Okay, because I saw them. I think recently they posted something where they're like working out together during quarantine or something.
Yeah. So like that storyline going into it was like he shot a shot. He was gonna get his date finally on Valentine's Day, but she texted him saying that she was gonna be late. So he was like, "Okay, no problem. I'll go. I'll move I'll be there at the same time as you." Basically, like, all right, I'll go later. It turns out that when he goes to the restaurant, he sees her there with Dolph Ziggler. And they look like they're like toasting and stuff and like having dinner. So it looks like she, even though they show before, like he just kind of like shows up and she's like, yeah, like being nice, like, yeah, you can have a seat, whatever, it's fine. I'm waiting for somebody. So Otis sees that and doesn't go. He leaves, upset. He's sad. He's sad. So she thinks that he stood her up, but in reality, it was Sonya Deville who sabotaged their relationship. And at WrestleMania, Otis has his match with against Dolph Ziggler. Mandy comes out and helps basically slap Sonya Deville, helps Otis get the win, and they share a kiss on the grandest stage of them all. And that's actually one of the storylines I was going to tell you. That, man, if that was in front of a live crowd,
that would have been awesome.
Otis would have become a star.
That sucks, dude, because he was good in the main event, man. Like, you can see his personality, and you can see that he's okay playing.
He's such a character, man.
Yeah, dude, he's a character, man.
He's always like thrusting.
The kid, no, he didn't thrust in the movie. Okay. He was more like dirty, like you know, like was it the Hacksaw? No, not Hacksaw Jim Duggan. It was it the Dirty Boys? What were they called? Those two gross guys in the 90s that they would put their armpits in their opponent's face on the corners. That was
Bushwhackers.
The Bushwhackers. Yeah, he was doing stuff like that. No, I think there was some other ones. I gotta look them up too. But he was doing stuff like that, and he has a big flatulence scene where that's one of his moves, his power moves or something. It's hilarious, dude.
Funny. Yeah, man, he's a character. He's hilarious, man. He's one of those. He would become, even though I think he is becoming a star. He had a really good. He had a very much is the same kind of thing that they did with Kofi Kingston last year with the gauntlet match that he went through and almost won it. They did the same thing with him and his partner Tucker. Which their team is called Heavy Machinery. They're all about stakes and weights. So he's a character, and I think that even though he's becoming a star, if WrestleMania was in front of a crowd, and that kiss would have been
golden.
One of the great.
So is she dating that Ziggler guy? Is that who she's dating in real life, or?
I don't think she's dating anybody in real life. I think she's single in real life.
Well, it's because I was looking at him up and her, and they have. She has posts with him like working out in quarantine, but then she has posts with that I guess Ziggler guy too.
Before like that all happened, she was posting pictures with Dolph Ziggler, and honestly, it's one of the few times that they actually like kept kayfabe.
So they kept it going through media. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so like even with Sonya Deville, she's posting all over Instagram like memories of her and Mandy, even though like Mandy's not talking to her.
She's mad at her.
Yeah, and it's like she's trying to like look what we all went through. So I don't know. We're gonna find out soon like why Sonya did what she did. That's like the next storyline. So it's continuing. It's gonna be interesting. And honestly, like that's kind of surprised because I was actually, and we're going on a tangent again. Out of those two, Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville, I always thought that Sonya Deville would have played the better heel. I mean the better face. But with her turning, and I always thought that Mandy would be the one to turn on Sonya. But honestly, like surprisingly, Mandy is actually really working as a heel, as a face for me.
As a face,
yeah. I didn't think it was gonna work because she has that like conceited gimmick. But yeah, she's doing really good as a face. I like it. All right, so before we head into the UFC 249 stuff, because apparently that's still going to be a thing right now. Let's go ahead and jump into these releases. So WWE did their spring cleaning that they normally do around this time after WrestleMania. Unfortunately, it comes at a very unfortunate time. And it's a lot more releases than normal. So I'm going to go ahead and read off some of these names that are bigger names. And please, Delisha, if you hear a certain wrestler that you want us to stop on, let us know. She says, how are Mandy and Sonya going to do their donut show now that they're not speaking? I don't know. I don't know. So they have a YouTube channel called Demandies, where they just, wherever city they're in, they try out different donuts.
Not bad.
I haven't watched it. I don't know if it's good, but I mean, it's been going on for maybe over a year now.
Hold on real quick.
Yep.
That's pretty interesting. But speaking of that, I haven't seen it yet, but I think yesterday a Hot Ones Truth or Dab came out with the Bella Twins.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I need to watch that.
Yeah.
One, I'm a fan of Hot Ones. Two, obviously, when Hot Ones and my world collide, whether it's wrestling or MMA, I think it's awesome. So I'm gonna take a look. And remember, I liked them whenever they interviewed Henry Cejudo. I thought that was fun. Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna check it out. But I just want to let everybody know that came out yesterday.
Both Bella Twins who are actually pregnant right now.
What?
Crazy.
How is that possible?
It's possible.
Why isn't Triple C playing off of that either?
I don't know. You'd be like, yeah.
That's what he should be doing, man. Dude, I bet you he doesn't know. I bet you he doesn't know.
He probably doesn't know. He's too busy getting ready to get beat by Dominic Cruz. I'm just kidding. I don't know.
Dude, if
Dominic Cruz fighting forever.
Well, dude, if Prime Dominic Cruz fights, he could beat him. Because Prime Dominic Cruz is a different animal, dude. He's a different animal.
Top level striker, man.
It's just his movement and his ability, his defense, really, because he doesn't get hit when he's in that movement zone.
And he's gigantic.
Yeah,
he's very big for the division.
Well, the thing is that, TJ Dillashaw beat Dominic Cruz using the Dominic Cruz method and kind of adopted it and made it his own with a little bit more power and sitting on the punches more than Dominic Cruz does. But Henry Cejudo knocked out TJ Dillashaw. So maybe that fight style doesn't work against Henry Cejudo. So we'll see.
Yeah. All right. So we're going to go through this list.
Delicious said, well, when a man loves a woman, sir.
Yeah. So Rusev is the biggest name, I think, on this list. Rusev. I don't know if you know Rusev.
I don't know him, but you said he got cut.
He got cut. He's a really good wrestler. He's a great character. He's one of those wrestlers that started out. So he's Bulgarian by way of Russia. That's what they say. Or no, he represents Russia by way of Bulgaria. But he's one of those guys that came in as the foreign heel, typical foreign heel, monster heel. He's a super athletic dude but he's a big guy. He's a big guy but athletic. And he was really good as a wrestler and as a heel, but when he turned kind of he didn't even they didn't really turn him face. He just kind of naturally went that way because of his personality. The crowd just naturally got on his side. Started chanting, no matter where he went, they would chant Rusev Day because he would say every day is Rusev Day.
Delicious just said it was a sad time for Rusev Day.
It was a very sad time for Rusev Day. That's one that I hope he comes back because, unfortunately, I guess they always saw more star power in his wife Lana than in him. So he got released, but Lana did not. Lana is still.
Oh man, that's tough, dude. That is so
weird.
Tough, man.
It's very weird. It's got to be very weird around the house, especially because they were doing some really weird cuckold angle with them, where she left him for Bobby Lashley, and Bobby Lashley and her are married now.
Hold on. Is she of the lacking in pigment color?
Yes, she's white.
Wow, dude.
She's white. It's just weird, man. But yeah, so Rusev being gone really sucks. But I am happy in terms of if he goes somewhere else and he can become a star somewhere else. If he went to AEW, I'd be very happy for him.
Does he keep the character?
I don't know, man. I don't know how that works.
That's interesting. I've always been interested in how that works, dude. Is that maybe too why we're seeing a lot more Adam Cole, just use their name or something and not necessarily a character or a made up character? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get you. And he doesn't really have a character. He just happened to come up. I mean, I feel like once he started actually letting him do his own thing, he was more just showing his personality. So I don't think you can't take personality away from somebody. You can't copyright that man's personality if he can just come up with a different name for it. I
mean, you say that, but it's Vince McMahon.
I don't think because Adam Cole with the Adam Cole thing, he did the Adam Cole thing in ROH, the Adam Cole baby. That was an ROH thing that they let him adopt here. So I'm assuming when he leaves, they will let him take that. But I guess it varies from wrestler to wrestler, So I don't know. It's a very odd thing. Yeah, Delicious said if he owns his character, then he can use it. He can use the Rusev gimmick. So I don't know. We'll have to see if he owns it, and the only way to see that is see him go somewhere else. Another big name, Kurt Angle, was released, even though he had transitioned into a producer role. He can't necessarily wrestle anymore because he doesn't have a neck.
Well, dude, I speaking of Angle, real quick, I've been no sports, so no sports makes me go a little crazy. I've been going back and watching wrestling, like Olympic style wrestling matches, and I saw Kurt Angle win his gold medal.
Mm-hmm.
And dude, the dude had a broken neck when he won his gold medal.
Broken freaking neck. That was his thing when he came into the WWE. That was his like thing. He's like, I want a gold medal with a broken freaking neck.
Yeah, dude, it's just. But have you seen that match or no?
Nuh-uh. I've never seen it.
It's freaking crazy, dude. Like how they wrestle and how it is. And they're so freaking huge, man. Like they're so huge and they're so powerful. And that dude had a broken neck. It's just crazy, man. I just wanted to get a little anecdote before we move on to the next name.
Oh, absolutely. So yeah, then the next one on the list is Zack Ryder. He's been with the company since 2007. Released. So he's been with the company for 13 years. He's always been a jobber, quote unquote, but always loved by the fans. Fans always loved him. He used to be the internet champion because he's actually the first one to start a YouTube like show, and the WWE actually brought it into it because of how popular it had become.
That's pretty cool, man.
He's another one whose fiance is still with the company. So he is engaged to a woman named Chelsea Green, and she is still employed.
I'll put it in my contracts, man.
It's very odd.
We come as a package.
Yeah.
Package deal.
You have a former member of the Wyatt family in Eric Rowan, who was released, which not actually. He says surprise in this article. When I saw it, I guess I was surprised because it was like Rowan, but at the same time I was like, I see why. He just kind of like every time they try to do something with him, it just kind of flatlined. It just didn't go anywhere. So I get it. His ex tag team partner, formerly Luke Harper, now Brody Lee, is in AEW as the Exalted One. So maybe he has a home there. Who knows? This is the big one for me that I was really surprised also, is up there with Rusev, is Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson, which is AJ Styles' club, the OC. They're original members. Carl Anderson is an original member of the Bullet Club in Japan with Finn Balor, aka Prince Devitt. We had just seen Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows in the Boneyard match with AJ Styles. So AJ Styles losing his boys is kind of surprising to me.
That's crazy.
I believe they had just signed a deal, if I'm not mistaken. It was crazy. Very interesting that they left. They already started their podcast up called Talkin' Shop. So I have a feeling they're going to be going back to probably New Japan very soon.
Dude, it's funny you say that because I saw a thing yesterday that said that Amazon is out of podcast mics.
For real. Dude, all the people that like I watch on this one podcast called SEN Live, now that they can't all go over to the studio and record every day, now they all have their own like a live stream. Now they do live streams, and honestly, I mean, I love it. It's awesome, but it's just crazy like that people have to change on the fly.
All I can say is we were ahead of the curve, man. We've been social distancing since January. You know, we knew what was up. We're just that talented and knowledgeable and smart about everything, including science and coronavirus.
Yeah, when they were bringing up that they were just learning about StreamYard, I was like, ha, joke's on y'all. We've been using StreamYard since the beginning of the year. All right, so the next one that I have on here is another one whose husband is in the company still. Sarah Logan. Kind of upset with this one because I always felt like Sarah Logan had potential.
Put the list up on the thing, dude.
Oh, yeah, you're right. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So I totally forgot I could do that. Share the screen. Chrome tab. Right here.
Bada bing, bada boom. There it is.
Here we go. So we have Sarah Logan right here. Don't have any pictures. I can pull up pictures later. But Sarah Logan, her husband is actually with the Viking Raiders. His name is Eric Rowe. So, yeah, she was unfortunately released. He is still with the company. But
that's a backwards one. That's where she's released and the husband stays.
Yeah, the husband stayed. She's released. So kind of sucks, but because I thought she had a lot of potential, especially if she could start using her Viking gimmick that she used with her husband. But they never allowed her to do it, really. So it kind of sucks. Next up, Wasted Talent, EC3. So this man, he actually was released very early in the very early stages of NXT. Went to TNA Impact, became the top star at TNA Impact. Left TNA, went back to the WWE thinking that he was going to be used better, and they just kind of wasted him. And the weird thing is, he's built in very much he's not the indie type wrestler that a lot of the NXT talent is. He's very much homegrown for WWE. Big, strong guy, and just kind of, I don't know what happened. They just kind of forgot about him. Kind of sucks. But he is going to be going out there. You have Drake Maverick, Kurt Hawkins, Mike and Maria Kanellis, Heath Slater, No Way Jose, Eric Young, Leo Rush, Primo Epico, Deonna Purrazzo, Dan Matha, MJ Jenkins, Alyssa Marino, Alexander and Alexander Jaksich. I don't know, something like that. Then you have under producers that are furloughed, you have Fit Finley, Shane Helms, Billy Kidman, Mike Rotunda, Pat Buck, Sean Daivari, Scott Armstrong, Sarah Stock, and Lance Storm. And then you have coaches, you have Serena Deeb, Kendo Cashin, and Chris Ace. And then announcers, you have Aiden English, Jerry Soto. Referees, Mike Chioda. You have creative, Andrea Lissenberger, who is the writer for that Otis and Mandy storyline. And then on-air talent, you have Josiah Williams and John Quasto. So a lot of talent that is let go, future endeavored. Wish them the best, and it just kind of sucks that this happened, especially for the time that it's happening.
Well, man, like I mentioned to you in the pregame show that is going to be going hopefully one day on our Patreon. I think this is a bad move by Vince. This is a time to I don't know, kind of put yourself on the right side of history and being good, good versus a bad corporation, and firing people. Let's say you do have a normal spring cleaning, that's fine, but this will be the wrong time to do it. And then on top of that, it's not just your normal spring cleaning. You did more than you normally do.
Mm-hmm.
So I just think it's a bad look. It would have benefited them a lot more for them to keep them, and keep using them somehow and figuring out things for them to do. Be more open to different types of storytelling for them. Whether that's podcasting or StreamYarding or doing YouTube, like that guy that you said that they cut that had been there for 13 years.
Mm-hmm.
Especially being that it's a multi-billion-dollar business and it's a multi-billion-dollar it's a multi-billion-dollar, or I guess 1.9 billion is what Vince McMahon is worth, almost $2 billion. I mean, they have the funds to do it. They're just choosing not to and choosing to be cheap. I mean, on top of that too, XFL filed for bankruptcy.
Yep.
So I don't know if they're hurting. I don't know if they're hurting for cash or what. Even though they have huge deals with these networks, and then on top of that, they also got a favor, I guess, by allowing them to have live shows in Florida.
Mm-hmm.
So how much could they possibly be hurting? People don't have anything to do but watch TV right now. They can watch your what is theirs called, dude? Their monthly thing that they do, their like Fight Pass, but what is it called for WWE?
I guess it's the free trial.
No, but what is it called? What is their little thing called?
WWE Network.
Yeah, the WWE Network. You have that you're getting money from. You're still gonna be putting on shows. Like, I just think it was unnecessary.
Necessary or not, it happened. Delicious says the bittersweetness of it all, looking on the bright side, is that most of the wrestlers weren't given much to do, so maybe another company can do more with them, or they'll be re-signed when crowds are let back. So I don't know, man. It's a tough situation, honestly.
Yep.
But I wish all the best for the wrestlers, especially some of my favorites that got cut. I'll say Rusev. Rusev and Deonna Purrazzo and Sarah Logan are the main ones, and Leo Rush. Leo Rush too was a big one. But all right, and let's jump into this UFC 249 stuff. So, basically, so we do know that Trump is working with Vince, Dana. I believe I saw Adam Silver on the list of trying to find a way to get these sports back out, get sports back out there.
Rob Manfred.
So he's working with these commissioners basically to try and get this get sports back out there. As we know, Vince hasn't really had to stop just doing everything on a closed set. So they are all sports. I think I heard that all sports in Florida are deemed essential. The story was like WWE, but it was all sports. Deemed essential in the state of Florida. Florida is absolutely batshit crazy, as we all know. So WWE is going to continue with their stuff, and now we know that that Dana is going to work his hardest to get this brand new 249 card,
which is completely crazier than the one that was just about to happen on the 18th.
Let me pull it up. UFC 249 card. So I like the first 249 card. I like this even better.
And you love this one.
I love this one. This is a great card. It's not going to happen.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if Florida, as crazy as Florida is, they're going to let it happen, man. There's nothing anybody can do about it.
Even the commission, though?
Dude, if the governor is saying that it's essential, then the
commission has to have it.
They can't go against the governor, man.
All right. Is this it? Is this the full one? I think this is the full one. It's not the official picture that I had found before.
I'll tell you when you pull it up.
Here we go. Yeah, Tony Ferguson, Justin Gaethje, as we know, that's basically however long this gets pushed back. Every single 249 card is gonna have that fight at the top, I'm sure, unless like Khabib finally is let go out of Russia, but that doesn't seem like it's gonna happen anytime soon. Henry Cejudo versus Dominic Cruz for the flyweight championship.
No, not flyweight. It's a bantam.
Bantam. Sorry, not flyweight. You're right.
135
for the bantamweight championship. You have Amanda Nunes. This is for her
145 pound
featherweight division championship. Yeah. So her taking on Felicia Spencer, and we knew this was going to come after Felicia Spencer's big win over. I don't remember.
Was it Jermaine Durandamy? I think was it her?
No, it wasn't Durandamy. It was somebody else. I'm talking about Spencer.
Oh no, it was what's her name? And that girl that didn't have any business being in there with her. Remember?
Yeah, she got choked out very quick.
Yeah, she was a kickboxer.
Wait, that was the choked out, right? That was the choke.
Yeah.
Okay, because right before that, Megan Anderson knocked out her opponent.
Yeah, it was against Zara Fern dos Santos.
Yeah, there you go. No, had no business being in there with her, but she was, and it happened. Then you have Francis Ngannou versus Jairzinho Rozenstruik, carryover from the last card. Jeremy Stevens versus Calvin Kattar, another carryover. This is a new one.
Your boy
Anthony Pettis.
Your boy,
guys.
Well, you like Anthony Pettis more.
I like Anthony Pettis more, but you know what the surprise is? Donald Cerrone coming back so quickly after that fractured orbital.
Well, it was in January, right?
January, but I feel like he should still be out a little bit longer, man.
Well, I mean, January. You got January, February, March, April, May. So you got almost 5 months. I think that's about right. But like I mentioned to you when we saw that, fractured orbital bones.
Dangerous.
It's not that it's necessary. I mean, it is obviously
for a fighter.
It's ended a lot of careers, man.
Yeah.
Because and this is gonna show it. If that orbital gets broken again, then Cerrone's pretty much done, dude.
All right. So does Anthony Pettis continue that like streak of win one lose one?
I think so. I mean, I don't know. I don't know.
He lost his last one against Nate Diaz.
This is a tough matchup against a guy who's on at the very least an equal as a striker, maybe a better striker, and he has cardio, which Anthony Pettis seems like he keeps getting less and less cardio as his career goes on. So I don't know, man. It's a tough fight for Anthony Pettis.
Oh, sorry, Pettis has lost 2 in a row. He lost to Nate and he lost to Diego Ferreira.
Oh, that's right. That dude that held him down pretty much the whole fight.
Yeah, and that I'm pretty sure that jumped up Diego Ferreira very high in the rank.
Yeah, so he needs this win then, dude.
Absolutely. But Donald Cerrone doesn't quit.
Well, Donald Cerrone's on a 2-fight losing streak too, though, right?
Yeah, but he's on. He got his body destroyed. He got his face destroyed by. We got his face destroyed twice, I guess. First time he got his face destroyed by Tony Ferguson, and then he got his face. He got his eyeball destroyed by Conor McGregor. But he lost to two of the top guys.
Yeah, he's up there too. He's getting up there now. He's 37. Oh, he's on a 3-fight losing streak, dude. He lost to Gaethje. Remember?
Oh yeah, he did. I totally blanked on Gaethje. So he lost to 3 of the top guys in the lightweight division.
Yeah, so he's alternating wins and losses, but in threes. He won 3 in a row, and now he's lost 3 in a row. So both of these guys need this win, dude. That's a big stakes. That's probably the biggest stakes on the card.
Means this is gonna be a good fight.
Yeah, dude.
It's either gonna be a good fight. I can't even say the other one because it's not. Like Donald Cerrone doesn't just phone it in. I don't think Anthony Pettis phones it in. So it's not gonna be a Yoel Romero versus Adesanya.
No, it's not. Not at all.
All right, so then we have Greg Hardy versus Yorgan De Castro, another carryover.
I don't care about that fight.
I know you don't. I just want to see Yorgan De Castro knock him out because Yorgan De Castro, I'm actually very high on him.
I just want to see him kick the crap out of his legs for 3 rounds.
Dude, if he beats him by TKO by leg kicks,
man, that'd be beautiful.
He already did it on the Contender Series, so why can't he do it again? Then you have Alexio Oleinik versus Fabricio Verdun.
This I'm calling it right now. Snooze fest.
Yeah, these both guys are up there in age. Alexio Oleinik probably shouldn't even be fighting anymore.
Yeah, they cancel each other out on the ground for the most part. Like I don't think Fabricio Verdun can submit Oleinik unless he's hurt. So it's gonna be a kickboxing match from 2 guys that are normally submission guys.
Now this is the one I'm not sure of. Didn't Michelle Waterson just post that she's pregnant again?
I don't know. I thought I saw it too.
Right, so like this is where maybe it was originally announced, and then it's had to get pulled because of the fact that she's pregnant. Maybe I'm wrong about that. Let me see. We can look that up very quickly. Let me see. Michelle Waterson pregnant, and you can actually see what I'm. Oh no, you can't. I don't see anything new about it. Maybe it was something else.
I haven't. She hasn't posted anything since March 9th.
Okay, maybe I was wrong.
Maybe.
Delicious says they want that money. They're going to find a way to make it happen. I guess she's talking about in terms of the UFC or sports. So I believe that's what she was talking about is in terms of sports. They're going to make it happen. So Carlos Esparza versus Michelle Waterson. Interesting fight. What do you think about this one? I would like to hear your thoughts.
I mean, it just depends if Carla Esparza wants to win and uses her fight IQ, she could beat Michelle Waterson all day because she could just use her wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
If she thinks like every other wrestler on the damn roster and wants to strike because she feels she can strike better than Michelle Waterson, she's gonna lose.
I mean, all credit to Michelle Waterson. I mean, if Carla Esparza wants to strike, Michelle Waterson went off. She got. How far did she go in her fight against Joanna? She went on fight. She went to decision. She didn't get knocked out. Okay, yeah. So she's tough as nails in terms of striking. But yeah, if she's gonna get taken down, then it's a whole different story.
Yep.
All right, then you have Jacare Souza taking on Uriah Hall. Do you really? I don't know if I really care much about this fight. I think Uriah Hall has to get a win.
This is a gatekeeper fight. Whoever wins this is a gatekeeper for 185.
Yeah. Next one, Vicente Luque taking on Nico Price.
I'm very interested in this one.
Can Nico Price get on the winning track? And can Luque, because Luque has that loss to Wonderboy, his last fight. But Not close. I think Wonder Boy was piecing him up.
Dude, Wonder Boy, I don't know, man. Wonder Boy is that dude that he's always number 2. He's like, who was always?
I want to see him fight again.
Yeah, dude. I just saw him. He also real quick on Wonder Boy. They just dropped a thing on GQ called The Breakdown, and he breaks down karate movies.
Oh, cool.
And he goes from Into the Dragon, I think, with Bruce Lee to like the Karate Kid and some other ones, and it's pretty interesting. And actually, normally it's like 15 minutes long, but this one they made it like 26, 27 minutes long. So I thought it was pretty cool.
Cool, very cool. I guess another thing that I was thinking.
Oh, so real quick, this Nico Price versus Vicente Luque. This is the second time they fight. The first time Nico Price lost to Vicente Luque by submission.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
The Vicente Luque versus Nico Price.
Yeah.
This is the rematch.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they fought once back in 2017.
Vicente won.
And Luque won by Darce choke.
Okay. All right. So we'll see if Nico can get the win. Can get the win here and maybe get a rubber match. All right, last one. Charles Rosa versus Bryce Mitchell. I don't recognize any of these names.
You don't recognize Thug Nasty?
Oh, Thug Nasty.
You don't recognize Thug Nasty?
I'm sorry. I'm just
Reebok. Give me my camo shorts.
I'm just used to Thug Nasty. They shouldn't even put Bryce. Why did they even call him Bryce Mitchell?
They should just put Thug Nasty. I agree, man. That's a branding mishap for Bryce Mitchell, but yeah, he's on it, dude. I follow him. I'm excited to watch Bryce Mitchell.
Absolutely, I'm gonna watch any fight Bryce Mitchell does.
Dude, I want him to get another twister just to be the first one to get back-to-back twisters.
You have to. I'm pretty sure he's gonna go for it, like within like the first like minute or so.
Yeah. The guy's gonna like roll out nasty and run away.
It's gonna be great. All right, yeah. This is a good card. This is even better than the other one. You have 3 title fights off the bat. So you have the interim lightweight title fight, you have the bantamweight title fight, and you have the featherweight title fight.
The women's featherweight.
So very nice. Probably a number 1 contenders fight in terms of Ngannou versus Rosenstrike. Yep. Stevens and Qatar. If Qatar gets a highlight reel knockout here, he could really propel himself further up in the rankings for the lightweight division. And then you have probably one of the fights that could probably maybe be fight of the night, with Donald Cerrone and Anthony Pettis, one of those performances of the night or something like that. So
yeah, I mean it's a lot of good fights up and down this card, man. Like I don't see the only boring fight I see is Olenek versus Verdum. Mm-hmm. All the other ones I feel like they're gonna be very competitive, and honestly, man, like I expect this card to have fireworks all over it because these guys have not fought. They know that all eyes are going to be on them. Mm-hmm. They're probably going to be the first sport to go on. I really feel like this one is going to happen only because it's in Florida, and 2, because Dana learned from his first mistake on April 18th of not having a card. He's going to fix all those holes, and he's going to make it happen. So all eyes are going to be on this card. They're going to want to have a show. They're going to want to make a big show for the people watching, and there's a lot of pressure on them. So I think it's going to be a great fight card.
Same here, man. Same here. Just real quick, what's going to be your fight of the night?
Ooh, fight of the night. I think it's probably going to be the Ferguson versus Gaethje. I'm sorry. I mean, I'm looking up and down. Yeah, I'm looking up and down this fight card, and I don't see like. I mean, I see like Cejudo versus Cruz being a good fight, like back and forth, but like. All time, maybe fight of the year is probably gonna be Ferguson Gaethje. They're just 2 tough-nosed grinders. They both, don't want to lose. They're both there to win. They're not scared. They both are complete martial artists. They're not like they don't have any deficiencies. So I think it's gonna be that
one. I agree with you, but in order to be different, I'm gonna go ahead and say Ngannou versus Rosenstrike.
I mean, that's a good one too, man. I mean, that's a good one too. But we've seen
top spot heavyweights put it snoozers.
Rosenstruck is the one who knocked out Overeem, right?
Yeah, he knocked out Overeem, but was losing off for basically the entire fight.
That's what I'm saying. Like that, it might be a similar fight to that. And that first part of the fight you wouldn't say it was a great fight. It just became great at the end.
Yeah, right. But hey. You only get better with each fight. Maybe he learned something.
And there's a lot of pressure on him, man. I think this like you said, it could be a number one contenders match. So
absolutely, I think if anything, even though there's a lot of pressure on Rosenstrike after getting that knockout over Overeem, I think the most amount of pressure is going to be on Ngannou because he has the most to lose. I think he is the next in line because of the fact that one, Stipe seems like he can't fight anytime soon, or he's not gonna fight anytime soon.
Well, dude, that's an interesting thing, dude, because I don't think Stipe is gonna fight anymore, man.
I think he's done. I think he's done. One, I thought like I heard that his eye injury was a lot worse than
he's letting on.
Believes, yeah, than they're letting on, and then to know that he wants to during this entire crisis, he wants to focus on being a firefighter, which I have no problem with. I 100% commend that. So I do think that he might just be done. And it's not. I'm not mad at him for it. I don't blame him for it. If he would rather go out and do the firefighting, 100%, I'll give it all the respect to him. So if this was happening later down the line, this could be like a interim, but because it's not down the line, it might just be a number one contender for an interim fight sometime down the line, or a title fight once Stipe decides to vacate it.
Yeah, I don't think Stipe is gonna fight anymore. I don't think, and that tells me that I don't think DC is gonna fight anymore because DC only wants to fight Stipe.
Duh.
So that just leaves Ngannou and Rosenstruck at the top, man. So I think looking back, we're gonna see this as an interim title fight.
Yeah, I get it. All right, one more thing before we head out, because we're about to head out and call it a day. Please give your final words to Jon Jones.
Oh God, dude, I don't even want to talk about Jon Jones. Jon Jones is such a scrub in my book, man. I mean, they said, in all this chaos, we can at least, hold solace that one thing is right in the MMA world, and that's Jon Jones messing up and going to jail on drugs and charges and whatever, and being under the influence, and him being such a hypocrite, man. Like, he's literally posting stuff on Twitter before he got caught saying the best thing we could do is stay inside, and everybody stay inside and figure out things to do, and here are some things to do, board games, this and board. And then he goes out on a Saturday night drunk, popping off his gun, and it's just ridiculous, dude. He's just so ridiculous. Like DC said, man. DC said he reacted to it, and he said that guy needs help. I mean, that's basically the bottom line. That guy needs help. He doesn't have the right people around him. I don't care what anybody says. He does not have the right people around him. His team is not helping him. They know what he is, and they're not getting him the help that he needs. And on top of that, too, it's him. He thinks he's one thing, and he doesn't want to change. So, I mean, that's all I'll say. I can go on and on about Jon Jones, how he's just a waste of talent, man. It's just He reminds me, and I'll run it by you right now in front of people. I'm thinking about writing a article about him, about Jon Jones, and the waste that he is, because it's funny. And I'll say it. He's a waste of talent. Even though he's a champion, even though he hasn't lost, he's still how many times has he been stripped? How many years has he lost to suspension? He's gonna lose more years to suspension now too.
Mm-hmm.
He's like the comparable that I had. He's like Darryl Strawberry. Darryl Strawberry won, I think, 3 championships with the Yankees towards the end of his career, but he was suspended a lot too for drug use, cocaine use, and he could have had more personal records. He could have been at the top of the record books for baseball, but the substance abuse and the suspensions didn't allow him. I mean, I think there's a story out there that he pitched a game while he was high on meth, dude, which is freaking crazy, man. Yeah. I don't know, not pitched the game. I think that was him. I don't know, one of those guys. But it's just what could have been, like, what more could have been. Like, he could have been hands down the GOAT.
Yeah,
mixed martial artist, and instead he's this guy who just can't stay out of trouble, man.
Yeah, so much so that people were still, even after all that he's done, we're still talking about he's the GOAT. And in my book, if you can't get it together in terms of your life, man, like, you can't be the GOAT. It's just you can't be the greatest of all time, but yet you can never get your life together. You can never stay active. You can never beat yourself. You are literally your own worst enemy. And when you can't defeat your own demons, how can I say that you are the GOAT?
John Jones would be the greatest of all time if he was clean. So the greatest of all time is a clean John Jones. You know, that's and we've never seen that.
The only man who could ever be John Jones is John Jones.
Yep.
All right, man. We're gonna go ahead and call it a day here on Armbars and Suplexes. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Thank you, Delisha. Thank you, Rob, for joining us live, man. I really appreciate y'all joining us. We will be back on Tuesday for the brand new show, which is going to be kind of just to give you a concept. Each week we are going to rotate who's going to bring something for the other to watch for the first time. I already gave mine away, but I'll repeat it. I'm going to be bringing, just so you can kind of prepare for it, or you know what you're going to get into. It's going to be the Outlaw John Roca taking on Dangerous Dan Morrill for the Movie Trivia Schmodown Championship. 5 rounds of movie trivia greatness. That's what we're going to be watching in the Movie Trivia Schmodown next week. Every week we're going to be bringing something different. So the week after, Jesus will be bringing something for me to watch, and that we'll be watching live with you guys here on the stream.
Battlefield Earth.
Jesus, we don't have enough time. It is gonna be a smaller show. It's not gonna be as long. It's not gonna be 2 hours like our.
Yeah, we're gonna try to keep it at 1 hour, maybe 1.5.
Try to keep it an hour, maybe an hour and a half, depending on what we're showing. But normally, I don't think most matches and most fights don't go an hour and a half. An hour. So I think we're pretty safe there. But yeah, guys. So make sure you guys check that out next week. We will have a title for it whenever we premiere it, so look out for that. And then, of course, every Friday, 9:30 a.m. here, Armbars and Suplexes live stream. So I am Alec. You can find me on Twitter at AlecMiller0423 right there. Hit me up there. Hit me up on Facebook. It's just my name. And also, I didn't even say the Patreon, guys. Patreon is patreon.com/Armbars and Suplexes. 3 different tiers. Yeah, the $1 tier just to get the just to help out, basically. The $3 tier, which is the shout out tier, and then the $5 tier, which is the ask a question tier. So make sure you guys do that if you want to help support the show. If not, just drop a like, guys. I'll never ask. Drop a like on this video. Share the video. Let everyone know where you get your wrestling and MMA news at. So yeah, make sure you do that. And Jesus, let them know where they can find you, man.
You can find me at The Real Jesus, and as always, I spell JEEZUS on Twitter, on the Twitter sphere. Delisha said, good show, guys. Thank you. Really appreciate it. And that's it, man.
Thank you, Delisha. Maybe we'll see you on. Are you gonna be? Hopefully, I'll see you on the Twitch stream with Ben Goddard. That'd be cool. So, all right, man. Peace out, bro.
AMF.